So this happened with my neighbor and his brand new security camera, and it ended with the city getting involved. It started on a random Tuesday while I was doing dishes and caught a little red light blinking through my own kitchen window. Not from inside, from outside, from his yard. A few days earlier, my neighbor had installed a shiny new, smart security camera on a pole at the corner of his property. When I saw the box in his recycling, I didn't think much of it. Cameras are normal now. Everybody's got a doorbell cam watching their own porch, their own car, their own stuff. I figured he was just finally getting serious about package theft. Except the more dishes I did that week, the more I noticed that little red light seemed to be looking right back at me. Not at his driveway, not at the fence line. Straight across it, through my kitchen window, into my kitchen. I stood in 3 different spots at the sink over 2 days just to be sure I wasn't imagining it. I wasn't. So I did the reasonable thing first. I walked over, knocked, and asked him politely if he could angle it away from my window. He barely looked up from his phone, told me it was his property, his camera, and he'd point it wherever he wanted. I said okay, and I meant it right up until I got back inside and realized how not okay that actually was. I want to be honest about the next few days. I closed my blinds during the day for the first time in the 4 years I've lived there. I stopped doing dishes in a t-shirt. I caught myself glancing at that little red light every time I walked past the window, wondering who else could see what it saw, and for how long it got kept. That's when "this is annoying" turned into "this is a problem I'm going to solve." I started with the city's municipal code, figuring surely somebody had thought about this before. Sure enough, buried in the privacy ordinances, there was a specific statute about residential surveillance cameras capturing footage inside a neighboring home through its windows. Not is it allowed to exist, but is it allowed to see into someone else's house? It very much was not. Then I checked our HOA handbook, mostly out of spite, and found a second angle I wasn't even looking for: a surveillance placement rule requiring any resident-installed camera to be angled away from adjoining properties. 2 separate rulebooks, 2 separate violations, 1 very smug little camera. I didn't want this to come down to my word against his, so I built a case. Over several days, I photographed the camera from my yard at different times, using a compass app to log its exact bearing each time, time-stamped automatically. Same angle, every single day. Not once pointed at his own driveway like he'd claimed. I had a paper trail before he even knew there was a case being built. With the photos and the bearings lined up, I filed 2 complaints on the same afternoon. 1 report with city code enforcement citing the privacy ordinance, and a separate complaint with our HOA citing their placement rule, the same photo evidence attached to each. I wanted both institutions moving at the same time, so there'd be no waiting on one to hear back before the other even started. Code enforcement responded first, sending him an official notice that cited the exact ordinance by number and gave him a compliance deadline. I only know this because he came and knocked on my door holding the letter, asking if I knew anything about it. I told him I didn't make city law, I just read it. The HOA followed 2 days later with their own fine and a 5-day window to reposition or remove the camera entirely. Facing a city notice and an HOA fine at once, he actually moved it. Well inside the deadline, though he made sure to do it slowly, in full view of my kitchen window, glaring the entire time. I waved. My kitchen window still has curtains, because I bought some in the middle of all this, and I liked how they looked once they were up. I just don't need them for what I bought them for anymore. His camera points at his own driveway now, exactly like he told me it always did.